all right. As y'all know, we Christmas came early. So
Okay.
Christmas came early. So he want a beard trim here.
Yeah, beard
Take
trim.
a little bit off the ears and
Yeah,
line him up.
Yeah.
So that'll work.
The hairs that are covered going over the ears are trim them above the ears
Okay, that'll work.
and the back.
So it's my first time cutting him. He's a new customer. And so we're going to go through this thing with caution and take every precautionary measure that needs to be taken as we learn his hair as we go. So where you say you from again?
Well, Scotty, I was going to tell you something about Scotty.
Okay.
One day
He tell me a story about his old bar.
Yeah, I came to see Scotty, and who was sitting in the barber chair was Trent Lott.
Trent Lott.
Back then he was a
Senator.
senator.
Yeah.
And he is the most nicest person to talk to. While he's getting his hair cut, he's talking to everybody in the barber shop.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out Scotty and him went to school together.
Okay. And Scott used to be his bar.
Yeah.
That's a good deal. So what I'm doing with him at first, I'm going with a 2. Just going with the grain to try to cut you down, see what I'm working with.
Okay.
And I'm gonna kind of line him up with these clippers here. Get some of that off him over his ears. Give you some sense of direction of what I got going on here. So you was telling me you was in the you went to Desert Storm, right?
I was in Desert Shield, Desert Storm.
Desert Shield, Desert Storm. That was back in '92, right?
Yeah.
I remember that war first kicked off. I remember sitting in the parking lot of the grocery store out here in Ocean Springs with my parents, my mom, and my brothers. And it was on a Wednesday night or Tuesday night. It was on Tuesday night. When it came across the radio there, that George Bush Sr. had declared war on them. That's Saddam Hussein. You know what's crazy? Them people would still be alive had they not have made those decisions to go to war with America.
Well, there's a lot of things that's happened in my lifetime that I just wish some people would have listened to reason.
Right.
And especially many of Iraq's, even Iran has got cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But that's going on right now.
Let me ask you a question. Do you want the top line up as well or just the
Oh,
bottom?
yes. But anyway, the Vice Admiral, who was the Fleet Admiral, called me in. Usually when you get called in, you're in trouble for some reason. And he informed me that my wife at the time, ex-wife now, had actually contacted Bush to complain that he ordered her husband.
Really?
And he told me, can't you do anything about her? And I said, well, I think it's time to drop the hammer on her. And he gave me a list of lawyers that represent Navy personnel, and I filed for divorce.
Really? Are you serious? She contacted the president and said, let's do something about this.
Got me being called to war. Well, I was already an active duty, but harm's way, as she referred to it.
Hey, she sounds like a good wife fighting for her husband.
Well, one of the things that tickled me, I knew she was a little off in the head, but part of the judge ordered us to take a mental health evaluation. I can't remember the correct name, but that's about the size of it. And mine came back, except for anger towards my wife.
Come on.
My emotional, psychological, and mental health is perfectly normal. Hers, on the other hand, indicated she had emotional, psychological, and mental issues. Further evaluation. is highly recommended. When she heard what her recommendations were, she fled to Utah.
Come on.
And with her out of far away, so to speak, I had no trouble getting my divorce.
None. No trouble.
And even though she had been notified that the divorce was, granted and is final, she tried for several years to try to get the case reopened. And in fact, she went to Judge Barlow, Judge Harris, and Judge Harris went out on medical leave for a brief period of time. And a woman, she figured a woman would definitely listen to her.
Right.
The woman ripped her a new one, saying, "How many times do you have to be told no?"
How many times? She wasn't used to that word, no.
Well, she had issues. And her son, he is so mad at me for what's happened to his mother. Because he blamed me for everything that his mother has gone through. And I said, look, I'm not a professional in mental health, but it seemed to me what you should have done long ago was get counseling or help. And that's something that I'm not equipped to do.
Right. So that's not your level of expertise.
But he is still, even to this day, he's now in his late 30s, he still blames me for all the misery and suffering his mother has gone through.
So he was a mama's boy.
Oh, he was always a mama's boy. In fact, he was angry with me because child support was put on hold. I was still paying it, but it was going to the state, what do they call it, child services. They were holding it for safekeeping.
Wow.
But
Safekeeping.
My ex-wife was told that she was going to have to cooperate with the court order to start getting child support again. And instead of cooperating with the court order, she kept defying the court. Eventually, I had to hire a lawyer to go and get the child services to give me my money back since she wasn't going to cooperate.
So yeah. So you was able to get your money back, huh?
Oh yeah, I got the money back. But you have to understand, anytime the state child services gets money, for example, back when she was receiving child support, Jackson County would get a taste of the child support money. The state would get a taste, and then also the state of Utah would get a taste.
Come on. Of your pockets. You was paying for all of it.
In other words, whatever my monthly child support check was, it got there were 3 different entities that got a taste of it.
Wow. So she not even getting the full court order.
When I finally got my money back, the state of Mississippi and Jackson County didn't want to give their taste back. And my attorney just told me, just let him keep it. It's not much.
Yeah, just let him have it.
Because it'll cost you a whole lot more
Trying to fight to get that little bit back.
get that little bit back. So just let him keep it and be done with it. One thing I've learned about lawyers, and it doesn't matter if it's just Mississippi lawyers or nationwide, lawyers do nothing, absolutely nothing out of the kindness of their hearts.
So everything come with a price. A lawyer's alley car, huh?
I haven't seen a signal yet, but they did not blow that play dead.
And of course, I didn't do myself any good because my first and second attorney, when the Mississippi Bar Association would not do their job, I proceeded to file criminal and civil charges against my first and second attorney.
Mm-hmm.
The first attorney was forced to give me my retainer money back, and she had her bar license suspended for 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
My second attorney had to give all of the retainer money back, all the money I paid him, and he got disbarred. Of course, he should have been disbarred years ago because he had done some despicable things, and I wasn't the only one that he did despicable things to. I remember one time he was bragging that he knew his client was innocent, but his client didn't have the money to hire him for a proper defense.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy was convicted and went to Carson. A few years later, there was I forgot what they call it. It's a special service that helps people that claim they're innocent.
It's called Innocence Project.
Yeah, that's it. So they represented him, and they got him out of jail and got him a new trial. And they proved that the evidence that convicted him the first time was bogus, and the Jackson County Sheriff's Department had manipulated the evidence. And when the state judge heard this, he had no choice but to throw the conviction out and find him not guilty. But what he did to this person, he knew the person was innocent, but because the guy didn't have the money, he didn't put a very good defense.
Right.
So this is the type of person that eventually, and trust me, when he had to pay me $28,000 back for I originally paid him.
Are you serious?
Yeah. When he had to give me that money back, the Mississippi Bar Association ordered that he pay interest on the money.
Come on.
So not only did he not want to pay interest, he did not want to give the money back. And I think that's the reason why he got disbarred.
Wow.
Because he pissed off the state bar.
Mm. And that sound about right when you tick somebody off.
Well, I really don't understand how he was allowed to run them up for so long. But I don't. You remember a lawyer by the name of Vicky Scruggs?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Very famous lawyer.
he's a very famous lawyer, but a lot of people knew that he was dealing from the bottom of the deck. And when he finally was caught, and this was the feds finally caught him with his hand in the cookie jar.
Mm-hmm.
The Mississippi Bar Association did not disbar him. He, after he was charged and indicted, they still didn't disbar him. When he went to trial and was convicted, the Mississippi State Bar did not disbar him. And he appealed his conviction and lost. Only then did the Mississippi State Bar finally disbar him. And I should tell you, there was something wrong with the Mississippi Bar Association back then. They know somebody is guilty of sin, he's been convicted, and they still want to pretend to look the other way.
That's most of the world.
Yeah.
You know, most of the world look the other way with a blind eye. And that's when you have all your Bernie Madoffs of the world, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's when you have your Bernie Madoffs of the world.
Yeah.
People just sitting back, ripping people off, taking their money, hurting them.
It kind of, I just, really don't understand how the Mississippi Bar Association, for so many years, looked the other way.
You know, nothing in America really gets done until somebody get hurt, you know?
Yeah.
Nobody really changes anything until somebody lose their life.
Now, I don't remember this lawyer's name, but this is back when Dickie Scruggs was heavily involved with the lawsuit. And he was ripping off his own attorneys in his law firm and the Mississippi Bar Association.
Yeah, allegedly I heard that too. Yeah.
And he then went and got a really good civil attorney to assist him in his tobacco lawsuit. And then he proceeded to rip him off. And it took him a couple of years to get his money. And the Mississippi Bar Association, to what I've been told, all they did to Dickie Scruggs is the naughty. You should not have done that. You rip an attorney off that you hire to help you, and then you get caught ripping him off. And all you do is go naughty.
That's all they said was the naughty boy, huh?
Yeah.
Like you said, it's always something, man.
Yeah.
Always something. Was he your attorney?
Huh?
Was Dickie Scruggs your
Oh,
attorney?
no. Dickie Scruggs would not represent anyone unless there was a lot of money involved.
Yeah, and a lot of it. You know that's Trent Locke's brother-in-law, right?
I know. That might be a reason why he's so protected for so long.
I remember when they came out, you know, at the time, Trent was the Senate Majority Leader. And when that came, he had stepped down. And then the next day they went and arrested Dickie.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing is, Dickie Scruggs on video was caught with his hand in the cookie jar. So there was no question that he was guilty.
They made a movie about Dickie in the tobacco case.
Oh, yeah.
Had Al Pacino playing him.
Yeah. Even 60 Minutes, I think it's one or two episodes from 60 Minutes about Dickie Scruggs. I'll tell you one thing though. His wife is so arrogant. I mean, so arrogant. Not the current Walmart that exists today. The one that used to be years ago, where I think AT&T has their
On Ocean Springs.
in Ocean Springs.
Yeah.
This is back when that's where Walmart used to be.
Right.
And I was standing in line in the garden area, and Mrs. Dickie Scruggs, instead of getting in line, top of the line, she came and marched right to the front. And now she is Mrs. Dickie Scruggs. In other words, she's cutting in line.
Cutting people. Telling them who her husband is.
And
Like somebody who's been standing there cares, but they trying to get out of there and go home.
and she told me, my husband is Dickie Scruggs. Like, I give a shit. Everyone in the line started laughing.
She probably know why y'all was laughing.
But for a woman to become that arrogant, her husband had to allow her to become that way. How long have you been working in this office?
It'll be 24 years. I started here in 2001.
So you've been here for a while.
Yes, sir.
Well, now that I've found a barber, I will be coming back often.
All right. That works for me.
I definitely do not want a stylist ever again to get near me.
Yeah. Stylists are good for what they do, but you know they're not barbers for the majority of them. You know.
Well, there's a woman that used to work, I don't think she still does, I just haven't seen her recently. Her husband was a Marine, and I knew him from when I was in the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me that most of our clients are women.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, if you're smart, find a barber.
She told you that.
Yeah. He said, now if you want a woman,
Get ready.
he said, we're not really equipped
To do the barbering thing.
if you cut men's hair.
We're not really staffed to do it either.
Drills it through. 6th-round pick from Stanford. The 3 kickers drafted this past April. In the NFL. Frustrating start for Matthew Stafford and the Rams. Now down 7.
So how long did you wind up doing in the military?
Huh?
How long did you wind up doing in the military?
I ended up serving 41 years.
41 years?
Yeah, I got real good benefits.
Oh yeah, you went beyond retirement.
Yeah.
Was that twice enlisted or
Well, 3 times I turned in my paperwork.
3 times?
Twice they asked me, what will it take to get you to stay instead of promotion?
Mm.
So the last time I turned in my paperwork, I was already a commander. And they said, what would get you to stay? I said, promotion. They said, you're already a commander. You're getting a little greedy, aren't you? I said, if you want me to stay, I want to come. Or better yet, I can't have a promotion. How about transferring me to Hawaii? And I can be an instructor again. So that's what they gave me.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was sent to Afghanistan as an advisor.
Mm.
So after that, I don't care what they offer me. I'm out.
Done. 41 years. Does that count as 2 retirements? Your 2 retirement
Well,
checks on that deal?
I get full. I was allowed when I retired for what was called double dip.
Mm-hmm.
So I get, in a way I do get 2 retirement checks. Which somehow my ex-wife found out.
And she getting part of
No, she's not getting any of it. But that's the reason why she kept fighting that you haven't reopened the divorce. Divorce is final. and she wanted to reopen because she wanted some of the money. But I was only married to her for 12 years. And that female judge, the last judge that told her to get over it, she said you're not even entitled to any of the money whatsoever.
And I heard like even for a home, like a VA loan for a home, if the veteran isn't living in there, she can't. If you get divorced, she can't rightfully stay in that house because that is a VA loan for the veteran.
That's the reason why she couldn't have the house.
Oh, that's why she couldn't have a house. See, and I just learned that about 3 weeks ago, and now I'm seeing it put into play with you. Wow.
But she was so upset that she felt for 12 years she put up with I won't repeat the words she used, my foolishness. And I kept telling her repeatedly, I am never, ever going, ooh, let me go.
How many years she said she put up with?
12.
12 years.
In fact, we were divorced.
Did you tell her what you was putting up with off of her?
Well, I didn't have to, but they knew when I went through divorce. My attorney made it quite clear.
Yeah, she cuckoo for Cocoa Puff.
Yeah, every time my last attorney, the one that finally put an end to this nightmare, it just kept showing her mental health evaluation. And I remember Judge Harris asked her, have you ever went ahead and get the additional evaluation? And she started cursing Judge Harris.
Come on.
You don't curse a judge.
Not when you're trying to get something from him.
And you wrapped that hearing up so quick. My head, I was just still sitting there wondering what happened.
Yeah. All you gotta do is let her be herself, and you'll
Well,
win.
that's exactly what my own attorney said.
Yeah. That happened very similar for me in court one time. There was a lady I was talking to. Just let her be herself, and she's going to show her hands.
Well,
And the judge wound up telling them, if you say one more word, I'm gonna hold you in contempt of court.
well, even after, Judge Harris said, ended the hearing, she didn't want to be, and in other words, the judge already ordered, his decision was ordered, I can't remember the legal terms of it, it had been, ended. She didn't want it to end. He already even hit the gavel and said, look, it's over. And she still was arguing. And the bailiff, Judge Harris's bailiff, I don't know if it's still the same bailiff, but his bailiff looked like, you remember on the Carol Burnett show, the Tim Carvey used to play the old man? That's what Judge Harris's bailiff looked like. Now, I was sitting right there, so I saw what happened. Also remember, in the courtroom, there are a lot of surveillance cameras, so this is all on tape. The bailiff never touched my ex-wife.
Beautiful.
All he was telling her was to calm down and sit down. And she did not want to calm down and sit down. And she kicked the bailiff.
Come on.
And my son blamed me for what his mother did.
Wow.
Because she went to the Jackson County Adult Correction Center.
Right after she kicked him.
Like, I didn't tell her to kick the bailiff.
Yeah, you was trying to prevent, stop it.
41 years. I enjoyed my time in the Navy. There was good times and bad times, but most of the time it was good times.
I wish I would have joined. I do wish I would have joined. Oh yeah, first. Hold on, oh yeah.
You know, we were talking about Scotty. Scotty, he started getting really nervous about having to shave someone's back of his neck, and he used to do it all the time. And he told me, whenever I want to have my neck shaved, back of my neck, he said, let me know in advance that's what you want. And he made sure there was nobody around. And I asked him why. He said, because other customers want me to do the same thing. And I just don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And I found out from his wife the reason why he didn't want to do it anymore.
He didn't want to cut you.
Huh?
He didn't want to cut you.
Well, that's it. He didn't want you to cut. He didn't want to cut because he had cancer, and his nervous system had started affecting his hands, and that's why he eventually retired, because he really couldn't give someone a decent haircut because his hands would tremble. And he was afraid for years if he tried to shave someone's back of his neck, he might cut him. So he had to do it real slowly and carefully.
Okay. Take a look on there.
Oh, that's it. Real good, real good. Oh, you did a fantastic job.
That's what we do over here.
Oh, I am very happy with this.
Very happy. That's the goal, bro. We aim to please. Sit you here. See this camera here. Oh yeah. All right. Well, that's what's up.
Did you get the back of the neck again?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And again, another satisfied customer.
That's right.
See you guys later.